I think it might have some gameplay in it. I don't know. Thanks, Pedro, for the beautiful score. Let's click on this, which should be outputting potentially gameplay. Who knows? Who knows? Not me. I don't know. Boom. Now, I haven't done the settings for the PTU, so it might be a bit laggy. Might be a bit frame low, laggy. But I mean, it's going to be a random convo, but we can look around ArcCorp at the same time. Have a bit of a chatterpoos. Hope everyone's doing well. In the PTU at the moment, only a very limited amount of stuff's actually there. So yeah, a load of the items aren't available to purchase. All of the ships are in, things like that. So bear that in mind. I'm a beautiful bald woman. There's no jiggle there really. It's just, that's all I really wanted to know. Was there jiggle? But when you spawn in ArcCorp, you spawn in Odessa apartments. Orissa apartments. I can't. Let's have a look at the name. The name's around here somewhere. Ariadne apartments. There's a load of adverts everywhere. And ArcCorp does look quite pretty. A lot redder and oranger than I expect as well. Got any questions? Question in brackets would help. I want to talk about sort of like the PTU as it is at the moment, which is pretty unrefined, but it's got a lot of good in it. Certainly see where they're going. There's a lot of polish they still need to do, and a lot of the features that were in 3.5 are polish and quality of life and updates and reiterations and things of features. So they do need to get that right, otherwise the patch will be effectively a failure. But there's a lot of cool stuff in it. The new flight model, it's going to be semi-controversial with some people. It's a lot more dumbed down. It's a lot more simple. It's bullets, like, we'll talk about it in more detail in a second, and I will do a whole video on it tomorrow about my opinions of it and what it is at the moment, because that might change. What the? Things are flying upwards. That's supposed to like be litter on the floor and paper. Let's go somewhere that's really, really nice to just chill out and look. Do some chatties and answer some questions. Yeah, that's weird. The thing's flying up in the air. I think around here might be a good shout. Where's a better way to look? Let's look this way for now. Get out, have a bit of a chat while we watch life happen around us. You should see some cool sights here. We'll have a bit more of a look around our Area 18 in a second. Get to see. Alt tabbed. That's pretty cool. So how is everyone doing today? Good? Does the new flight model suck? No, it doesn't suck. It's got potential. It's a lot more dumbed down. Some people are going to hate it. The atmospheric flight model is sort of like not finished yet by any means, in my opinion. It does simulate drag and lift and gravity and mass now. So your ships are still going to feel weightless in atmosphere if you've got enough thrust, because the IFCS is trying to keep you up there and trying to make you feel weightless. It's trying to give you the best experience as you can. But if your stuff starts to overheat, which it will a lot in atmosphere now, you'll have misfires, you'll get more drifty, you'll glide more, you'll hit the
Love
ground
your
very
face, board. Finally a stream I can watch till the end XD.
You're right, Alfred, thank you very much for the resub. Very much appreciated, and I'm glad I'm streaming at a time that you can watch. I am going to work out better streaming times. I'm going to have probably more and more erratic streaming times as well. My dad is having chemo soon. I think either at the end of this week or beginning of next week, starting his chemo. So I'll have a more erratic sort of schedule for everything. It's not going to be terrible for me or anything. I'm happy to help, sort of thing, with my family. It's like the duty of the son to help the father that's given. My dad is like dedicated his life to his family, so it's no fucking hassle to help look after him with my mum as well. It's not just me looking after him. So that's going to make me more erratic time wise. I don't really sleep much anyway, but it'll probably have me streaming a bit more, just because it keeps me a bit more sane. If my schedule's interrupted, I can just go, I'm doing streams. You'll see. What we got here? You're still gonna get blown up if you try and leave ArcCorp. I've got a few accounts in different places around the verse though. There's not a new PTU out yet, other than PTU 3.5.0 G, I believe, is the latest one. ArcCorp is not really smooth by any means. This is the lowest frame rate I've had since 3.0. Oh, look at but that's the shuttle bus. That's ArcCorp's mode of transportation, and people could be on that. Is the one that you travel in. Pretty cool. I really like it. I know it's simple things, but some of these simple things really make me really happy. Is it? Is it a bit too loud? I'm going to turn the sound down a little bit. Better? I'm going to keep on going in and out of audio. I apologise. Thank you very much for the cheer. Very much appreciated. All ships that spawn up or any command are still blowing up. They are for me. How do we become as fab as you? We just eat, be happy, honesty. I think honesty's what I try to pride myself with. Shouldn't feel ashamed of self as a person or anything. And what's embarrassment? Other people feel embarrassed for you. What do you think of the heat system right now? I think it's fucking annoying. It needs to be tweaked. It's more of a hindrance than anything else. I can see that the heat system's got an idea behind it. I would have wished that they had sort of like waited until they had physicalized components. So everything overheats at the moment, just constantly. And it's good to test out the system. It's good to test out wear and stuff. But for example, your quantum drive will overheat, or your thrusters will overheat. How do you prevent them from overheating? Well, while they're in use, you turn the power down. And the quantum drive, that just affects its spool, it seems, and its calibration. It might affect its acceleration, but I don't think it does.
Oh, beautiful.
That will make it not overheat during jump. When I turned my thrusters power down a bit, I didn't really seem to notice any difference in my maneuverability either. Is air and ground combat AI better in 3.5? I've had some fun fighting enemy ships. I've not had that much fun fighting AI enemies on the ground. They're not difficult at all. But they spawned and I was able to fight them. I haven't tested them on the moons of ArcCorp yet, admittedly. There's loads of problems with ArcCorp getting there and not dying. So, I mean, they're better. Still awful. the ground AI, I think that they tweak the flight model and get all the bugs ironed out, that we could have quite a fun combat PvP experience and a PvE experience with ships. I don't think we're going to have a great experience with ground AI yet. It might be better than it's been previously, but that's not saying much, because it's been pretty awful. I hope to be proved wrong. Do I think that CIG actually knows what they're doing? To an extent, I still think that they are a growing company. They were a junior company up until pretty recently, and they probably didn't know exactly what they were doing efficiency-wise, because it all comes down to efficiency. So they might go down one route and then reschedule stuff and chuck stuff away or whatever, and it all comes down to efficiency. And I think that in 2015, they basically changed the scale and started to redo and rework everything. They maybe not binned everything with Squadron 42 and Star Citizen, but they went, right, scale's changing, everything's changing, we're making a better game. And that's put the project back many years. But I think that it's going to be something great because of that. I don't mind waiting. I mean, but I'm very unique in my position. I create Star Citizen content. I love being able to follow the project. It effectively makes me money from my YouTube channel. Although with Article 11 and 13 in the future, we'll have to wait and see exactly what the sort of like potentials of creating content for games are in the future. Although I suspect I won't be too affected. Maybe I will. We don't know yet. It depends on how YouTube decides to solve the problem of Article 13. Also, I want to cover news to an extent, so it depends on how Facebook and Twitter and YouTube want to also look at Article 11. So I suspect it's not all doom and gloom, but it's a pretty big blow to freedom of expression, freedom of speech. We don't really have freedom of speech in the UK in the same way that Americans do. We have freedom of expression, and there are some statutes which do protect us quite a lot, but people don't seem to ever quote or use. I mean, I studied law at university, and I was quite a good memory for facts and things, and for statutes and law and sections. And though I can't remember what it's called, there are some laws that protect us against stuff, freedom of expression in the UK. But let's not get political. That was something I entirely went down myself without someone poking me to be questioned. With all the bugs with the female model, do you see that being a big push for a later patch? I mean, they'll evolve the female model. I think they'll have it fixed so that it's working in 3.5 live, but I mean, there'll still be bugs. I know it's not scheduled until later this year, but do you think the Hull C unspindled will be able to go planet side? Yes, I do. I think when it's compressed, it will be able to land on planets and much smaller stations. I have a big question. Is the game killing my PC? Because the game is still in alpha and not matched to my graphics card and other components. So does that reduce the game? Does the game reduce that lifetime? If you have insufficient cooling on your rig, if you are overclocking heavily, if you have very high voltages that you've set for overclocking, then Star Citizen or anything that is highly intensive will reduce the lifetime of your components. But I think that typical components have got 10 years. It might shave a few years off. Obviously, if you've got hugely overclocking something, then you could burn out a component. You know, assuming you're not crashing regularly, you've done burn tests if you are overclocking. Other than that, it shouldn't damage your hardware unless you've got some sort of weird driver that is bodged for your graphics card. I mean, I know that some graphics cards were previously bricked from drivers and stuff in the past, but not for Star Citizen, just in general. Does it feel like you're flying a large ship when you're flying a large ship? Yes, very much so in atmosphere. Atmospheric flight's not finished yet, though. The new flight model is a lot slower. It's a lot more drifty. It's a lot simpler. However, when you first use it after using 3.4.3's flight model, it is a big difference, because it's all about, so the skill that I've come to understand is all about using your velocity control to suddenly speed up your ship speed, slow it down, move with precision, and then toggling decoupled mode. So you get these sort of combats where you're following something's tail, they'll try and out-turn you and might spin around and fire you Battlestar Galactica style, start going up, and you might not be able to turn at the same velocity and same rate as them, and then someone might decide to, if you're really going really fast after them doing some sort of quick maneuver where they slow down and turn, they will get behind you if they're smart and stuff. So there's a lot more Wing Commander sort of flight model there. It is what they described it as in CitizenCon. It's more of a modern day World War II sort of flight model, but in space. And a lot of people should love that. Some people might dislike it. I'd say get your hands on it before you decide. I'll do some videos and look at it properly tomorrow. And because it's obviously not even finished in 3.5s, especially not in the PTU, I don't really want to overly criticize it, but fuck it, we'll rip it apart. Have they gone from making mouse and keyboard easier to gimbals easier to auto gimbals, now nerfing cannons? The repeaters are the meta currently, in my opinion. At the moment in the PTU, but that could massively change pretty soon. And aiming the weapons yourself, I think, on gimbals is the best idea, but that's just me. That's going to change a lot, though, from the PTU, from each patch probably in the PTU before a live build, I would expect. Was there new stuff at ArcCorp for sale? I haven't actually bought much, if anything, other than components in, well, let's go to Dumpers Depot and show you. There's center mass in the ArcCorp tower. There's over here. Yeah, there's center mass in ArcCorp tower, which is basically a gun shop.
Tricksy little hobbitses.
Thank you very much. For the silent. And Raging Sage, thank you very much. Subs. Dalamars, thank you very much for the cheer. I love your face. Kenneth, thank you very much for the sub. God, loads of people doing stuff. So you'll notice that there was an original Area 18 a while ago that was sort of like a modular planet-side module that you could go to. A lot of the assets are reused for this Area 18. Some of them edited, some of them changed, some of them added to, some of them exactly the same. We've got Dumpers Depot here, pretty similar. But also we've got this area here that you can actually just buy components straight from. And I'm talking, you can buy some big uns. Load of components here. But we go to is the trade console here? Oh no. The last time I used this, it did not work. We can see a load of different. So here we can see turret mounts for gimbals. And arm stuff. Sucker punches as well. Oh, they are not fully rendering, it looks like. Look at the difference in cost. Size 1 for a size 2, okay. I do want to grab military A's for a lot of these sort of components at some point in the future. They might not build many military components out until after Squadron 42, though. They don't even... they need military components for Squadron 42? Do they need to have physicalized components for Squadron 42? Or can they fake it all? Load of missiles here as well. Missiles are now a good amount. A few LPVC each. I think they're worth buying now, missiles. Okay, so some of the places might have items to buy. Have a look in Kasaba outlets. Give me out. And Plaza. they've done a great job with ArcCorp. Or they're at 18 anyway. ArcCorp itself has got procedural generation problems, but in a similar vein that some of the other planets had and sort of still have, with like the moons had anyway, with seams and stuff that are visible. Walla and Lyria are actually looking pretty good. Let's get to Kobe Blast and see if there's anything to purchase there. There wasn't earlier. I was messing around. They're pretty much out of... Oh, there weren't weapons there last time I was here. Coming out. Right, let me put my helmet on. Apparently, Kobe Blast doesn't have oxygen in it. Classic. No HUD at the moment on the female helmet. Kobe Blast. Boom. Oh, it's working now. So these weren't working for me earlier. Right, we can... Oh, hello. I'm a woman girl. Cool ones. That one. Boom, straight up. That's... Scalpel. I don't know what armor the scalpel uses. I haven't scalpel yet. That might be hard to believe. It is true. Coda here. Coda. Any cool armor? Let's have a look. Helmets. Hello. That. Grab ourselves. True Death Pink. Perfect.
Tricksy little hobbitses.
Perfect.
Keep
perfect,
up the great content, Bored. We are all enjoying it. Finger guns.
Get a skirt. Thank you very much for the love and the finger guns. I'm not sure if this is great content. This is me. Well, let's get a skirt as well. Obviously. Be more feminine. Pink helmet. Perfect. Look fucking amazing. What's saying it's good. Damn. Right. Customize our character. Oh, lovely. Got a snipper rifle. Ammo for it. Oh, yeah. Perfect. Oh, and the skirt. That just makes it. Really, I want it in pink as well. All of it in... Perfect. How do we look? Look amazing. Yes! Amazing. How happy I am. Yay. Perfect. Right. Someone sent me £10. Why have you yet to be money? Ian Stevenson. You're a legend. £10 because you're a legend. Thanks for keeping us up to date. Alright? Like, my job, isn't it? Make Star Citizen content. And do Star Citizen newsy stuff. Hope I've kept the... I mean, I don't really want to keep the hype alive. What I mean is that I don't want to force hype upon people. Adria Falls, that's the one. Like, I'm hyped for Star Citizen. I really enjoy it as a project. I love that what they provide every 3 months. I sort of report on the news. And I get excited because I'm excited. I find it interesting researching what the project's doing each day. I love the fact that I can do that with this project. Like, I can look at it every day. Look how cool it is now. Like, this area feels alive. There's so much going on. A little bit too noisy. All the sound's going to go, but you know. What have we got? What's the new Aegis shop going to be? Well, there's... Aegis ship. Aegis ship. Yeah, so... There was recently a... well, after the Kraken was built, someone reminded me that Aegis said that they were going to try and compete with the Kraken, or Aegis had noted that the Kraken was a really big success as a carrier, or whatever. But there was a little concierge newsletter saying there's going to be a concierge event where there's going to be some form of Aegis thing, some sort of unveiling a new Aegis project. Previous to that, there was a little letter and teaser of Jatta where the HQ for Aegis is, saying they've got a new announcement to make, and we're just assuming that this concierge event is also going to unveil a capital ship from Aegis, probably like a civilian carrier, or like a semi-military carrier. That would be my expectation. Logitech Extreme 3D Pro are really struggling with 3.5. Any suggestions? I suspect they'll get easier in the future. They'll probably tweak it a little bit for the PTU. I do have a 3D Pro somewhere. I'll see if I can dig it out and see what you mean. Or I'll have a bit of a read on Reddit to see people's problems with it and see if I can address them. I'm not great with joysticks, though. I sort of like, I can test the joystick, play with it and say, I like this or don't like this, or this is suitable for this, this and this. But I'm not sort of like the joystick mastermind like Noob is or Twerk is with some of his stuff. Do you know if they removed the RSI jumpsuits? Only some of the items are available currently in-game. They'll add them all to the shops later. Earlier today, I couldn't buy anything. Is there a way to check wear and tear on the ships? Yeah, there's a little cog showing wear and tear. FDs. You don't have quantum travel issues if you shut off the damn cruise. You can still have quantum jump issues, honestly. Even if you don't shut off cruise, I'm pretty sure. I will double check, but I haven't been using cruise all the time, and I've had that problem. Hope that's true. I'll have to do a test just to make sure. As the Heartseeker, it's just a Super Hornet with a different loadout. Thanks for all the love. I do much appreciate it. See lots of just messages saying we love you, Bored, which I do fucking appreciate. So thank you very much. Welcome, Cannon. Keep up the great content, Bored. We're all enjoying it. Finger guns. I didn't realize that was for a sub, but thank you very much. Welcome, Cannon. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I love your face. What is the live build for my game? It won't change from 3.3.0. It's the live build is currently 3.4.3. The PTU build is 3.5. It's first wave PTU though, so only EVOCATI, Concierge, and subscribers have got access to it. How many FPS do you have in the PTU now? I have... Well, actually, it's probably pretty low. Play info equals... Getting 18 to 20 at the moment. Pretty fucking low. I've not had such a low frame rate since 3.0. However, if I wasn't streaming, it'd be closer to 25, 30 sort of ish. I'm probably more likely to hit near-ish 30. It's specifically area 18 that is super unoptimized at the moment. I suspect we'll get heavy optimization before the live patch. Expect sort of like hit 50, 60 when you're around area 18, at least I am. So I believe that there is a single guy working on the dynamic weather system at the moment, sort of like on the back burner, just doing it where he can. We saw on Lyria that there is snow on Lyria, but it is just literally just a little effect of like dandruff raining down. It doesn't have an effect on the floor. It's not dynamic. It's just a little effect. And we saw that coming out of the smoky geysers as well. Is the DNA character customization now fully persistent, so we don't need to create every time we start the game? It was fully persistent anyway. It resets with every patch, though. I suspect it will still reset with every patch. I've just seen someone's chucked more money at me, so I love you. No. Oh, Sean Stevenson, again, thank you. God, I suffer from anxiety. Well, I hope that giving money to me helps with that. Your videos chill me out. Here's another £10. Hope your father is doing better too. He's starting his chemo either the end of this week or on Monday, based on questions with the oncologist and stuff there. Macmillan, who are a cancer charity, have been fantastic with my parents and like chilling out my mother. I'm very sort of like, take as much control of the situation as you can, and then you can't do any more than that. So why stress yourself out and go mad about it? So that's where I am at. It's not like, oh my god, guys, I can't deal with it. It's like, well, I'll do what I can, and that's all I can do. Obviously, much easier for me to deal with it as well, because I don't have cancer, my father does. So it must be terrifying for him. Pretty old though. So he's had a good life so far, and even if it was like the worst stuff happened, he still have a good few years left now. They removed the cancer from his lung. It's in his lymph nodes. It'll be all right. We'll do. Worst things happen at sea. I don't get the hate for the Heartseeker variant. There are others. Gladius variant and Saber Comet are just skins with different loadouts. Yeah, I'm fine with it. I think it's cool. I've got one. My German is terrible at the moment. I'm so sorry. I will be looking to learn German to a reasonable level. I want to be able to interact with the German community. I want to learn at least, get back to a level of pidgin French, and maybe learn a tiny bit of Spanish, just enough to be able to say sort of like hello and get involved. The Spanish community have been fucking amazing with me, and Tri-Eye and people got me involved with those sort of like cool Think of the Roberts things they've done. Roberts de Cinco, whatever it was called. They've been so fun. So I want to be able to, interact a bit better. But especially German. There's a huge German community. I love German as a language. I've got a lot of German friends. What's the most exciting pillar you'd want to see complete? Well, it's server meshing, but full persistence in the shorter term. I mean, all the pillars are important. org features, mission sharing is so vitally important. It's a hard question. It's all of them. Yeah, the 3.5 is also getting a model update. So in 3.5, in the first release of the PTU of the live build, we're getting the 300 series rework. Well, we're not. We're getting the 300i rework, and then the rest of the series will be in the 3.5 branch in a 3.5.x patch a little bit later. They just want to finish those off. I believe that's also going to be the time in that next little mini patch. That's when they're also going to do the customization for the 300 series from the website. So there's going to be some ways you can buy stuff or do something on the website to customize your ship. Laughed my arse off when your ship disappeared in the last video. Oh god, spins around, oh god. But I was in it. That's the thing, I was in my Vanguard. I jumped in and it just fucking disappeared. It's because I'd been trying to get those moons for 3 hours. My main account is in ArcCorp, which is, you can see now. And I can't leave. I can't leave Area 18 because there's death boxes now when I try and get to my ship from the starport. Bit unfortunate. So then I was travelling from Port Olisar to Walla and Lyria. And Walla, reasonably easy to get to. Okay, so let me show you. Let me show you. This is the other thing. I've got a free mouse wheel. I'm just spinning my mouse wheel, and it's taking ages to get the way out. So, from Port Olisar, when you want to go to Walla or Lyria, you still have to travel to the main astral body. So you travel to ArcCorp first, and then travel to Walla. But seeing that these are not rotating, well, not orbiting at the moment, when you get to ArcCorp, there's no line of sight to Lyria, and there's no orbital markers to be able to get to Lyria. But so the first few times I tried to get to Lyria, I would try and angle it away to get to Lyria, and then I'd both try and get there, and I'd hit the planet as I'd leave and explode. Eventually I realised that there was a this little asteroid field here that I could get to, and then go straight to ArcCorp to Lyria and get a better point of view. But I had so many problems, and the first time I got to Walla, I hit the ground because I was like, oh, I'm sure they haven't modelled the atmospheric changes yet in the flight model. Oh, they sort of have, but it's not done properly. Oh. But yes, so PTU has problems. I mean, they always do. Star Citizen's going to have a load of bugs and stuff still. I mean, it seems unusual we haven't had a PTU patch for 2 days going on 3. What do you think? Well, I think that a load of the people that were building patches and stuff were building it over the weekend. We saw a patch on Saturday and Sunday, didn't we? That's madness. I suspect there's a couple of major things they're working on for the next patch, and I suspect we'll see a patch within the next 12 hours, probably. Yeah, I think it's going to be an Aegis carrier. What we'll see is the next Aegis, the special Aegis project. You want the Corsair? The Corsair's a cool ship. I love Drake as well. I think Drake's amazing. What's your view for the flight model in terms of combat? I'm going to reserve judgment until a little bit further into the PTU. It's not great for combat at the moment, though it has problems, but that's because it's the PTU. I can see it's got potential for combat as well. I've had some fun following people and shooting them and them breaking off and things like that, and thrusters overheating and stuff like that, and chasing each other down. I can see that it's got potential, but it's sort of like a load of people, a load of children chucked in with new controls that don't know how to use them, sort of like attempting to fight, not knowing any meta or anything. It's a bit of an odd experience, and there's loads of bugs with the system still. And heat at the moment sort of like shits on your parade. Maybe it's supposed to be like that, but it doesn't feel like it's supposed to be like that. So. Do I have any idea when the Corsair will come out? Drake pipeline's pretty refined. You could get it as early as next year. And the next PTU opening waves, next PTU wave could be as early as tomorrow. I know that's not great. I don't know. They need to get this ready, really, this patch for the end of the month. The latest they could realistically get it out without pissing people off would be the 5th of April. So between now and the 5th of April is really when they want to get this patch out by. So they need to start getting the PTU waves out. It could go straight from wave 1 to everyone in the PTU gets it. Speaking at the left side of your webcam, let's have a look. Is it what I've here? Yeah, it's my microphone. Microphone. Oh no! 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 Have you done this, Star Citizen? Okay. You'll be fine. We'll wake up in our bed. Bam. Might be bad tokens, though, if it was a server crash. Turtle pets on ship. No, I haven't. I wouldn't be able to get the turtles from Area 18 to my ship, because there's death boxes at the moment that literally just kill you when you pass through. Sometimes when you're on the tram, and sometimes when you're in the spaceport. Spaceport. Do we know what changed on the Reliant core for 3.4 to 3.5? No, I don't actually. Not off the top of my head. Pretty tired. I haven't recovered from the weekend. I went to a BoredGamer convention. I went to a BoredGamer convention that my mate runs with a good few hundred people at it on the weekend. Cameron, CIG events manager, came down as well, tried to invite loads of people down.
Oh,
because he is a board game sort of like fanatic, loves games. We were there playing loads of games the whole weekend and getting quite drunk. It's very good fun, but because I was sort of celebrating my birthday at the same time, I feel a bit rough. Screw it, here's another £10. Oh, I'm feeling super generous tonight. Thank you so much. It's very much appreciated. I hope you can afford it. I mean, but I do mean I hope you can afford it. You know, I'm not going to tell what anyone else do with their money. I appreciate when it's given to me. I love your face. I got the VIP tickets. Haha. Got the last VIP tickets? VIP? Oh, for BritainCon. Yeah, I'll see you at BritainCon. Go on. Appreciate it. Love your face. Appreciate it, mate. Yeah, star. Russell Radio. Oh, thank you for all the bits as well. Or to take a sip of the fire sauce. You deserve it for all the hard work. What is the fire sauce? PogChamp. What? What is these words that you kids are using today? Let me try and catch up. Did they improve performance? No, for me it's just as bad. I'm getting about 20 frames when running around in Area 18. Great everywhere else. Well, most other places. Around ArcCorp it's still fucking atrocious. Yeah, closer to 30 when I'm not streaming or recording. Any idea when the detachable mining bags will be thing on the Prospector? After the Hull C stuff. So not this year, basically. I'm not expecting. Technically, they could do it when they had physicalized components, but I think they need the multiple grid stuff. It is a bag that then detaches, so it probably needs the same sort of tech that parasiting does. Where's my drink, pussy? I don't have a drink because I'm going to go to bed pretty soon. It is my birthday. It's not my birthday anymore. 46 minutes ago. End of my birthday. I am recovering from a hangover from the weekend. I am a pussy. It's effectively working for me.
Beautiful.
I'm going to wake up early in the morning and go over other stuff with the flight model in my head and then talk about the flight model. I don't really want to get shit-faced or even drink. So, take that for what it is. Instead of these worthless snub fighters, will there be a decent small cruise ship that can carry a real fighter? Quite possibly. The Polaris. Literally the Polaris can. Oh. Nope. Got loads. Oh, you can carry loads of stuff, can't you now? Perfect. Any idea when or what version we'll see the Corsair next year sometime? The earliest. The Drake pipeline's pretty refined. It's using it's got no like super new tech or anything. It's relatively easy for them to build out without too much hassle, relatively quickly. How do you see target window up right? So the character I've got at the moment, my characters don't seem to have HUDs in the helmets, which is a bug. I'm just making use of it. Yeah, Lawville, the first Lawville came out, it was incredibly bad, frame rate wise, like terrible. for me, this is like sandpaper to my eyes, but I am very sort of like...
Ah, dodging bullets like fucking
beautiful.
Leo.
Frame rate. Knob. Let's use that as a word. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Got a weird name. Alright, what else we got? How's my day been? It's been alright. Got up really fucking late in the day, so like at 12:30 midday. I need to do my flight model video. I just record a quick one about the moons. 4 hours later, I'm like smashing my keyboard in rage. I couldn't get there without the moons without dying. I was like, fuck this. We'd do it live. We'd go with what we've got. Are they going to adjust the lighting for daytime at ArcCorp? Almost certainly. Adjusted the light for Hurston in the patch as well. So, will we see any ships pit into the game straight away like the Arrow? I would expect so, yes. Especially with ships that are needed for Squadron 42. You know what those icicles around the ships are on ArcCorp? Circles around the ships. Circles around the ships. Circles around the ships. What? Wish I could talk about the EVOCATI phase. And funny stuff happened there. Maybe at one point they'll allow us to... I thought that guy was in a noose. I saw that. And then I saw him. And my body... Oh, well, no. Pretty dark. Oh, do I still have... Yeah, bro. Close enough. It's gone. Full persistence will mean things like that do not fall through the universe. Going... Sort of like... How many minutes behind am I? Oh, up to 15. Good job. Should I get a VPN now that Article 13's passed? Lol. No, but the prawn filter's soon, so I have to get one anyway. So Article 13 and 11 are an issue for people. It's up to each of the member states of the EU to work out exactly how they're going to implement Article 13 and 11. So I'll do as much as I can to it not be as bad as Article 11 and 13 could be. I hope everyone does the same and petitions for it. Let's try not to leave the world in a worse place than we started it in. So that there's still a bit of a work to be done there. It will take a few years, probably at least a couple of years anyway, to implement that, potentially longer. And yeah, VPNs, as long as they're not illegal, will go a long way to circumnavigate problems with that content creators might have. Maybe we'll have to wait and see. But the inability for me to consume a load of news from loads of different sources is freely available and sort of like breaks the internet as it is at the moment.
Dodging bullets.
Seems a bit mad to me.
Beautiful.
Terribly authoritarian as well, but let's try not to get political when we're chatting about Star Citizen. I might do other streams. I'm dressed as Danger Girl at the moment. In bright pink. Oh, no. Camera, come on. Why you do this? Overly sensitive, actually. Been hearing about the video creation over the last week. What video did they show that off? And they previously showed some of it off in CitizenCon and 3 Lateral, sort of like the database stuff. There's a lot of tweaks they need to do with that, and only half of it works. It kept on breaking for me when I was using it. Any guesses when detachable mining bags? We talked about that. Base, thank you for all the fucking money. Mwah. Is it out to the public yet, ArcCorp? It's Wave 1 PTU at the moment. The plan is to have a live build by the end of the month, but I would suspect that might be increased to the 5th of April. So end of next week would be my expectation for a live patch. There's a reasonable amount to fix. Few people were saying in your video, if you sit in the center seat, you can survive the spaceport. Yeah, that's probably true. That's true. Yeah, I can get to the spaceport. It's only sometimes that the bus kills you. It's the spaceport also has death boxes in. I'd rather see an Anvil capital ship, Aegis capital ship. I'd like to see an Anvil drone corvette. So it's all about using drones. That's the sort of stuff I want to see, some interesting odd things. I'd like to say you're the most informative Star Citizen player on YouTube. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I'd like to be informative. That's pretty much my only remit. I want to be entertaining at some point. Rip. Cheer. Take care. I love you, Dalamars. I love. Alfred, you're the best. That money that Russell sent me as well. Those bits time my head, indeed. I'm 34 now. Zin was 35 the day before. Any website or place you would recommend that gives recommendations for good loadouts for your weapons and other components for ships? Yes. They will need to be updated for new stuff. I will do a video on them, and I'll also link stuff on my website about them when I find out. There's Star Citizen database stuff that Thingamajig, I can't remember his fucking name. There's a few sources. There's one where you can actually set up your ship however you want and see what the meta is, loadout and damage and DPS is. And there's the Star Citizen database one that Malagos runs. A load of metadata. Any website, and that's what we just talked about. When do you think OG will make it so ships go immobile instead of boom boom so much? Physicalized components, they're going to start to be trying to push for that in patches this year. A lot more about disabling ships. I mean, they're sort of starting to do that with 3.5, where you can disable ships and thrusters and stuff. There'll be a lot more than that. Ships won't have health pools soon. Throwing components on ships. How come we don't see ships flying around in the sky around ArcCorp like we saw in the social model? You will start to see that. They are and have been working on sort of like NPCs flying around, especially the spaceport. Don't see it so much in the PT at the moment because the performance needs a bit of optimization. But I suspect we'll see that reasonably soon. I'm hoping that makes it in. We were supposed to see it on Hearthstone a lot. We didn't get much there either. There were some patches with it in and some without. This is Zone 3. This is more like a food area. There's the G-Lock bar. Bar from the original Area 18. Yeah, I suspect they'll make VPNs illegal at some point. Either Europe or the UK or both. The only thing that makes Brexit now appealing is the fact that we may not have to implement Article 13 and 11 if we leave with a hard Brexit. It's probably worth everyone trying to work out assuming that they have to be implemented, the best way so they minimize damage, and then platforms and YouTube and everything need to work out ways that they can comply with it without just destroying their platforms. They're smart, they've got money, so they'll have to do something. Not act like it's the end of the world. It is a bitch. It is hell. Not fair. But can to minimize. Will the chairman lounge in game only be for concierge members by time, or will it be able to earn membership? I'm assuming you'll be able to earn membership. You'll be able to get in if someone else is a member, I believe, as like friends of their party. I expect you'll be able to earn membership in game. No, I'm not reading a different chat. I'm a good few minutes behind. I get questions from Discord, from.
I am going to buy so many
places. What was that? I can't see. My screen went down. Very much, Harbinger. I love your face. I love your fucking face. Oh, happy birthday, you beautiful bald bastard. I'm not bald. Harbinger, I've got a full head of hair. Have some cake for us. Yeah. Harbinger is blind, by the way, guys. So, thank you very much for watching. I love you, dude. Looking forward to seeing you, mate. He's now living my side of the pond, so have to meet up. What gameplay reasons are there for going to ArcCorp currently? Are there missions or multiple or unique ships, or is it just a new place to visit? So there's going to be some potential unique missions with Pacheco. It's going to expand the gameplay area over there as well, so missions will use that area. I've disconnected again because the game hates me. In bother chatting. It's because we're not really doing much in game, just sort of like walking around, pretending that I'm playing more than I am really. But yeah, there's going to be some item shops. Eventually, there'll be sort of like rental shops. Eventually, in Area 18, or some ship shops there. But there'll be weapons and unique items there, or items there. Potentially all have different prices for commodities there as well to sell to, so it might be worth travelling from there to Hurston to do trade runs and things like that. Sorry, about Walla and Lyria. I believe they were looking at trying to do something that competed with Jumptown on those moons eventually. There are going to be places to buy things on those moons as well. So. You can also land on some of the buildings. And they actually have landing pads around ArcCorp. What are you going to play at Conan Exiles? I did enjoy Conan Exiles. I'm more of a social game player, so if a load of people play them, and people desperately want me to play them, instead of the people I either like or content creators playing, so I can haul myself out to be views, then I will. However, I take the game both incredibly seriously and do it for fun. So what I mean by that, people getting too salty turns me off with those sort of social games. I grind hard. I grind really hard. I like to do the focus when I do something and just keep on doing it when there's something to get, when there's something to grind. So the Star Citizen has full persistence. I'm going to be an economic machine. I'm going to understand backwards how to make money in the games. And I'm going to have the free time to do that. I'm about to make videos doing that and have the resources to do that. So I'm able to do that to a very good level. Last time I played Conan Exiles, we had some people got a bit salty. I dropped a god when they first came out on someone's head, through their base, nom nom nom. But I had to move away from my group for a little while because they got a bit grumpy about some of the other groups attacking each other at night. So I just literally grounded souls until I had enough to drop the god on their base. So I like conflict, I like raiding, I like fighting, I like lots of different groups, and I like socializing, and I like it to be a bit silly and fun. But I don't want people to be salty. If I'm not the saltiest person in the room, then there's a problem. Thank you very much for the happy birthday, love. Appreciated. Okay, yeah, if I do play Conan Exiles, no problem. I'll at least check it out again when it's released. Play on server 1527. Feel free to message me and poke me privately with it. I'll bring the mic closer to me. Fuck it. Let's do that. Hey? Is that alright? It's because I moved the microphone so far away. Yeah, so there is a load of improvements they've got planned for 3.5. Whether they will make it in, but they should. I haven't done any of Twitch's missions yet. I'm planning to do those at some point. I haven't really delved deep into the ArcCorp gameplay area more than, well, the missions anyway. Sort of like mining and stuff's all been not hooked up properly when I've been trying to do it as well. Anyway, it's like super interesting, and the whole ArcCorp Area 18 looks great. It's definitely the best sort of like zone they've done. Bit crazy, loads of stuff going on. Job well is over there. That's from the original Area 18. Oh, let's go to the beautiful corridor. There are some interesting little corridors. That wasn't actually the corridor I was thinking of. This one will do. Where do you find Twitch? I don't know. Shame for me to say. I'm ashamed. I don't actually know where she is. I've yet to see her. I assume she was not implemented. I've been too busy at the board game festival thing that I went to and testing out the flight model and just generally walking around here at 18. I don't know where she is, so I'll look for her tomorrow. Will Star Citizen ever get a dedicated HOTAS system? So they originally wanted to have one, and they had one with, they were going to have one done by Mad Cats. I'm glad they did not, because Mad Cats are not super known for their great quality products. Logitech bought them. I was hoping that Logitech would then take over the deal and make one, but they seem to have had to renegotiated that. So at the moment, we don't have a Star Citizen HOTAS. However, Virpil do Constellation Delta HOTAS, and it is probably the best joystick and throttle I've ever used. Virpil stuff is fucking superb. But I am pretty much enjoying Area 18. There's a lot of stuff they need to refine and get into 3.5. The new flight model is got a load of promise. I can see what they're doing. They need to make it more simple, and it does work. And I think it's not awful. I'm sorry if people think it's awful. I do not think it's awful. There is a helicopter going over my house. I live near a heliport for a hospital. So you're going to have to deal with that. It is being picked up on the mic as well. Just assume it's sort of like ArcCorp sounds. We can have a quick look at ArcCorp Tower. So this is IO North, Area 18's ArcCorp sort of like facility. Anything to me? Typically this hologram will occasionally say things. Come on. Hello, I'm a hologram. You should all watch BoredGamer. He makes great content. Remember?
IO North Tower, Area 18's premier centre for business development. Please consult any of our associates for help or rental opportunities.
Remember to like and subscribe. Perfect.
IO North Tower,
Oh.
Area 18's premier centre for business development. Please consult any of our associates.
You can say it loads. Did I need to walk past you? Is that what it was? No, she just... Fuck you, hologram. So, over there is Centre Mass, up an elevator. But, it looks like this door might eventually lead to the Milling Mile High Club. It's got the same colour scheme and H3. Pretty sure. Not 100%, but pretty sure. Virpil is the name of the company. I'll bring them up on the screen in a second. I tried the Warthog and the X52 and the X56 and the X55 and the Thrustmaster T16000 and a few others. And the Verpal Constellation Delta is by far the best that I've used. We've got the Centre Mass shop here. There might be some more shops around here as well at some point. I suspect there will be. Oh. All of the items have disappeared. But typically there'll be the guns on the walls, things like that. Keep posing dude. Maybe he just wants to hug me. He's alive, I promise. Clear him out for a second. Let me bring up that Verpal. Burp. Screen. So it's Verpal like that. And they make great stuff, like superb things. I think originally I used the Monster Tech clamps and things. DC's currently using the Verpal for his Simrig that he's building. So I'll get some stuff up on that eventually. Pretty modular, so the Mongoose T50 throttle as well as what I was using with mine. So this is the grip for the Constellation Delta. They're not super cheap or anything. They are relatively expensive, but they are fantastic quality, and they're great for Star Citizen. They give me all the control I need for Star Citizen. I think they're amazing things. Where is the... And you need the base unit, so I had the Warboy base with that. And then this throttle is just... got so many buttons on it, and a split throttle, and a little flippy switch for me blowing stuff up. Little sidey thing. But yeah. I can severely recommend. Yes, it did have twist axis. Thank you very much for the happy birthday messages. Very much appreciated. You can't spell Alpha, that is true. The ArcCorp needs a lot of procedural generation tweaking for the city planet itself. Needs a load of performance updates and tweaks. All of the hitching, the only hitching I've seen in the game, it's totally been removed from what I've seen for quantum travel. However, around ArcCorp, when you go to quantum travel after to like Area 18 or whatever, there is so much stutter and pausing that you think your game has crashed. Power up with pips. I might actually get that on loop in a physical frame in my room. Oh, the NPCs are a lot better now. A lot of the ones that just walk around. Not perfect, obviously, but they're getting close to being a lot better. They are a lot better. Getting closer and closer to what they intended with them. Or at least them being able to walk around and add flavour rather than sort of like clutter the place. Eventually, one day, I want to be able to be NPCs and not know if they're players or not. And occasionally I see that when we're doing like silly things around Hurston or big group events, there'll occasionally be an NPC and I'll be like, is that a person or not? I'm very sorry, J Birdmax, for your cat farting at you. And lots of people are 30k'ing. Yeah, it's probably going to be a patch pretty soon. As I said, I would expect one within the next 12 hours. Best case on one of the detachable mining bags will come in middle of next year. I suspect they need the physics grid tech, basically the stuff that they're going to have for parasite fighters, the hull C done, things like that, before. So that'd be my best guess. We still have Jump Town in yellow in 3.5. I believe so. I think they may be trying to have other competitive areas that do similar thing or slightly different things from Jump Town as well. But anything could happen for the live build. They do tweak and change things. Alright, do we have any other questions? Major questions or anything? Thank you for all the follows and all the love and all the bits. Harley 5,000, happy birthday, board. Go buy some water. Thank you so much. Rust Radio, you're legendary. What role are you going to fulfill in the verse when the game goes live? When the game goes live, sort of like a full persistent game that's got reasons to play and the load the game mechanics there. A lot of the stuff I want to do is to do with outpost building and economy stuff. So maybe not cargo hauling, but maybe cargo trade and banning merchantmen and stuff. But I want to learn and help operate with mining, exploiting resources on planets by building outposts, surveying areas to find out and exploit materials on them, ship capture. There's quite a few things. I will want to savor all parts of Star Citizen and understand it all to a reasonable degree. I probably won't enjoy everything that Star Citizen has to offer, so I'll focus more probably on the economy side and certain elements of combat, rather than all elements of everything. Like, I really like the idea of E-War, but it depends on how it's done, things like that. How they fix ships that currently don't have O2 on them. A load of the issues that were in gaps of ships and the rim system and the doors not being sealed were fixed in the 3.5.0 G patch or 3.5.0 patch, the original first wave one. So there's still problems with those. Any idea when we'll to hire AI crew? At some point after Squadron 42's release, they need to get all the AI stuff working first, then in working well in the persistent universe, and then working well when operating a ship with a player. Oh, thank you very much for the birthday messages. I do appreciate it. Will the catwalk doors on the Starfarer be locked for non-party players? There will eventually be a permissions system and hacking in-game and ways to breach doors. So the idea is that there will eventually be doors that go, no, these won't open unless you're a named person or you have permission, and then you'll have to hack them or breach them in some other way. That will be true of most, if not all, doors on ships. I mean, some doors might not be able to be locked because for some reason or whatever. You enjoy the new flight mechanics over the old ones? I have been enjoying them over the old ones, but that's because they're new at the moment. There's still a bit of a way to go with them. They're going to need to do a lot of balance. They've got potential, and I'm excited for them. Thank you very much, RPG, for the sub. Very much appreciated. Kisses. Man. Wish this character wasn't sort of like... At the moment, I'm sort of like exiled to Area 18. There is no way I can get off the planet without dying at the moment. There's a death box, basically, in the spaceport. Which will just kill me. So this is Astro Armada, which you saw... it's in the original Area 18 that we had a while ago, but also you would have seen it in the 2017 Citizen demo, I think 2016. There was recently a fork spinning around on that, and previously a Saber Raven. Now nothing. This will be a place that probably in 3.5 we will be able to buy different ships and potentially rent them from. But probably no rentals until 3.6 unless it's some sort of magical surprise. Pretty sure this lift doesn't go anywhere either at the moment. Double check. Nope. not entry. The multi-tool sort of like damages things at the moment. I haven't checked in 3.5 to be honest. I haven't seen if it can open doors or hack or anything. I will check. There's no way at the moment off Area 18 once you're on. But I do have accounts on in other areas of the verse, so I'll mess around with them later. 3.5 is in first wave PTU, so concierge, EVOCATI, and subscribers. Yeah, it's going to be cool when you can remove modules and things and sabotage them. Jaden Gutrule, thank you so much for the sub. Very much appreciated. I do need to start pushing for subs and eventually for donations and shit in the future. Maybe not donations. Well, you know, donations as well. Fuck it, why not? I do appreciate all the super chats and the support on when I stream and Patreon and stuff. I don't want to keep on having to say that, but you know, I will. Will you be naming your banning merchantman the loot barge? Oh, loot ship or loot barge is a good shout. For this kit loves it in Apex Legends, doesn't she? Looty. But Looty maybe. So Zin's gonna be well. Okay. So I'm planning for Zin to be working for me reasonably soon, and as a proper employee. I'm just gonna double check to make sure that Article 11 and 13 aren't going to fuck over my YouTube channel when they're implemented. So I want to be able to give her at least some security for the next 3 to 5 years, rather than like in 2 years we might have to stop, sort of thing. So we'll find out and then confirm that. But then there'll be people doing gameplay with me regularly and stuff like that. So I'd like to do a informative video and a gameplay video of Star Citizen every day if possible. Want to get the coloured armour, you just go into the shops and you buy it from the terminals. So at the moment I've got True Death, pink armour. Not sure if I can bend over any more than that. But no, camera, bad camera. Low frame rate and bad camera. Yes. Bad camera. Yes, the Riot can fly in its 2 flying modes, and once they detach the landing gear from the morphing ability of it, you should be able to fly it in both modes. I believe that's the plan anyway. Have you seen the monstrosity of a revolver during design phase in Frankfurt? I found it quite weird that a revolver was ejecting shells, but I have to admit it looked cool. It's a bit weird, isn't it, the way it's like flung them out. I haven't actually used the Coda yet, Coda pistol. I'm planning to use it tomorrow. Got a big list of stuff I want to do tomorrow, but it's mainly focusing on the new flight model when I want to get all my thoughts in order and talk about it. I know people have kept on asking me what's my opinions on it, so I want to talk about it, what it is, talk about how to use it, and talk about my opinions on it. Right, do we have... Thank you very much, Sean Stevenson, becoming a member on my YouTube. That's something I want to promote as well at some point. Very useful. That's basically Twitch subscriptions, but on YouTube now as well. So appreciate that. You get little badges, and you can use my emotes and stuff in chat and things. And you get some exclusive content. But yeah, any other questions? What I'm going to do, I think, is I might... start streaming slightly later in the evenings, so like an hour or so before I started tonight, and go for a couple of hours, much more often. Got a feeling that that's probably quite good to fit in with my dad as well. Don't about to be there for him if he needs anything, if he's feeling sick or whatever, if he needs help doing anything. I don't sleep much anyway, so I do want to start to get into streaming more and actually doing gameplay in stream more. Especially with 3.5 does add a load more gameplay area. Should be a lot more playable. I mean, 3.6 and 3.7, there's some significant content I do want to then start to do loads of gameplay stuff much more regularly. From expanding the channel out, it would probably be employing Zin and doing a lot more content starting from June now, would be my expectation. That's going to be based on whether there's issues with Articles 11 and 13. I like the sort of like neon back alleys, and I'm hoping that there are missions here in the future, more shops. Expecting one of the back alleys there is going to be Twitch Pacheco. Zone 3 is an interesting one though. Very back alley orientated. What happened to the landing pads on the ArcCorp teaser? Oh, so those landing pads were there on the original ArcCorp, but now there's a detached spaceport. Let's see if we can actually get that. Yeah, let's ride on the death bus. Do I fear any negative consequences to my channel due to the newest copyright laws in the EU? Potentially, it will take a few years for them to implement them anyway. You've got to be dynamic to survive in the industry anyway. I suspect they won't affect me, but they might, and we'll have to work around it. I've already poked CIG about, can you give me some reassurances that you'll support creators where possible and appropriate. And continue to sort of like continue to support them. Oh, did I just miss the tram? I did. That's right. We'll go back to the other one. We'll be there soon. Hello, giant and hologram lady. Just sit down and you won't die. Thanks, Ferry, with the threat. It's not great performance. 20 frames, pretty blech for me as well. So we gotta get 90 when flying around now and Star Citizen. So this is like extra treacle. Are there any unique armor sets in ArcCorp you can't get other places? Not that I've seen at the moment. You'll probably be able to get unique color sets. You will eventually be able to get unique armor, almost certainly. But not that I've seen yet. But admittedly, I haven't been able to buy items until earlier today. So I prefer Patreon subscription or, well, I don't know, whatever's most comfortable for people to do, Sean. I don't really have a preference over YouTube or Patreon or donation or whatever. Genuinely, whatever reasons. Thank you so much, though. It's very much appreciated. Like, the channel's expanding, getting bigger. I love the fact I can play games and research Star Citizen for basically a living. Fucking awesome. I will add some other strings to my bow, but be mostly Star Citizen news and gameplay. Oh.
A shared space with other travelers.
Right. People are saying, eat. Yeah, you happy with me sitting here? I haven't spent any time with the mist at all in this patch. I can check it out later though, and add it to my list. Yeah, we should see in the armor shops different variants of colours of the armor. Yes, that's something that you should see a lot. Crotch. You should see a lot of in 3.5. Thank you very much, Elmots. I hope you enjoy yourself. I'm pretty chill. I'm going to be going in a second. I just want to come on just to see how many people are around at this sort of time. And it seems that later evening probably works better. Because then I don't have to rush during the day. I can even have a nap when I'm done, like a video, probably done by like 4 or 5. I could typically then I would stream straight afterwards. Maybe I'll have a nap. And then if I was going to stream later in the evening, or maybe do a mixture of the two, maybe switch it up occasionally. But I'll try and identify better times of the day for people, and I'll try and get some more streams on the weekend as well. But I always want to get that video content out where I can. Thank you so much, Sean. You're a star. It's very, very humbling, but it's very, thank you. I'm absolutely exhausted. Recovering from a hangover. It's been stressful with my dad just because I'm worried about them being worried. And yeah, I'm tired after thinking a lot for the board games. A little bit annoying that 3.5 came out on the Saturday. I suppose it's better than coming out on the Friday while I was away. So yeah, we survived the train ride. I've only died on the train once, but as people said, as long as you're sitting down, you're fine. We'll watch it go off the station. We can see actually some physicalized traffic here. They're like really low LOD ships. They're really low LOD Cutlass and 300 series. See you later, tram. And people, and me especially, want to be able to go up and down the highways ourselves on vehicles. And maybe in the future, in some of the levels, some of the areas, we will be able to. Now, we will walk around the customs area until we die. And the spaceport, so we're at the spaceport now. It's reasonably distance away from Area 18. We're going to have a customs area. It's literally going to be, you'll get scanned, and like you've got naughty things on you. Oh. No. Right. So close. Hey. And it kills you. So that's basically what happens when you try and leave ArcCorp at the moment. Area 18. That's PTU, that's the sort of bugs we have. Still better than the EVOCATI. And apparently there's an earthquake in my room because they just stuff just fell off the shelves. And it's just going mad. What the hell? And someone's jammed the chair here.
I am going to buy so many spaceships.
Late nights are fun.
Thank you very much, Almots. Very much appreciated. Yeah, I think it's probably a better idea. Do some late night stuff and actually do some gameplay. We'll start to look at the 3.5 a lot more. There's a lot more silly stuff we can start to do gameplay wise. We can hook up with some other content creators and do some content there. I do enjoy supporting more than actually playing gameplay wise. Typically, but I mean, I can learn to gameplay. Huh. So we should place these items. Oh no. Oh, Susie Salt. Elsie Pepper. Come on. Come on. Bam. So placing stuff means it does not fall through the universe at the moment. That's good. That's at least something. Grab this. A pretty big thing to grab. Good. Bam. Okay. I can see that full persistence will work eventually. I mean, I think one of the reasons we got such low performance in Area 18 is because the amount of small props every fucking where. And there's all individual. Good test for it. That. Get out of here. Got weapon racks and stuff. And can't interact with them. Wait, we're not allowed to look at the screen. Let's pretend I'm looking at it. Oh, so this is from Hurston. This is a placeholder from Hurston. L19. Oh, and this is the 2015 CitizenCon poster that I've got. They gave out. Oh, I love the fact they use the assets like that. That's kind of cool. And I'm not tall enough to get those books up there. And he would have placed them up there. Sorry. I went off on a tangent, didn't I? What we got? Don't burn yourself out. I appreciate it. Thank you. I'm just recovering. That's all. I've just been exhausted recently. You run all the way through and get to the ship kiosks, you'd be fine. Yeah, probably. Things are always happy to help if you've got events to attend. I'll talk to you. I'll talk to you and Huntress and people, events-wise, when it comes to stuff I want to do in game. We'll start to get those organised and then just get them done and played. The events that I run will be relatively chaotic in the fact that it doesn't matter if stuff goes wrong; they'll still happen. I won't have super like mega organised events. Everyone has to be here at a very particular time to do this, and if one person's not there, then we have to wait for everyone. I can't stand waiting. So we'll do stuff that's a bit more works, even if that person's not here or everything crashes or whatever. We can get back in the game quickly. We don't have to have huge setup times, basically. So, what is your favourite aspect of this patch? The flight model is pretty cool. At least I can see potential there. I mean, it's important. Just ArcCorp in general is pretty cool. Your mic over your webcam looks like someone. Yeah, I don't fucking know, mate. Gotta deal with it. Does this mean item 2.0 is fully implemented? No, it is not. And we need to physicalize components and all the component system and stuff like that. Most of the stuff's been converted over. All the new items and props and stuff are built in the system, though. Be interesting to see what the sort of like gameplay for the Mako and the news van and that sort of stuff is. Obviously, we've got the render to texture tech. They do want the ability to stream stuff into other screens in game and for those TVs to work and things, I believe. and for maybe the Moby glasses will have the same functionality. So maybe the Mako or that sort of news fan streaming gameplay will allow you to make money by streaming externally or internally to the game, get money for viewers, or maybe there'll be missions based when they need to you need to capture video or stuff. Or it might be a lot more simple than that. Maybe I'm overthinking it, but it'd be cool if they make use of their render-to-text tech and streaming tech to do things like that. The Adventures of Safety Boy and Danger Girl. Unfortunately, both characters are currently me. Maybe we can try and make Zin Danger Girl. Or Safety Woman. Corsair, yeah or nay? I love it. I love the Corsair, Alfred. I'm not sure if I've done a full should you buy video yet? Or Ship Buyer's Guide. I noticed like 8 other YouTubers were using the name Ship Buyer's Guide. The other day when I got back, I was like, oh, maybe I should change my name. But then there's other people will use that anyway. So I'd probably do a full Ship Buyer's Guide for it once we have the FAQ done. Thank you very much for watching the videos. I appreciate it. I really enjoy what I do. I'm a little bit super tired now. It has lots of guns. Yeah, it's going to be one that is Drake. It's going to have multi-role. It's going to obviously more focused exploration, but people are going to be using it for attacking things, and as part of fleets as well. If it's a bit like the Aquila, a bit like the Carrack, then it's going to be interesting in multi-role. Do you think there's a tournament when 3.5 stabilizes just as a casual thing? Maybe we could do some like shipboarding-y type things, simulated shipboarding-y type things, sort of like zerging and recording. We could do some PvP stuff. We could do some Vandal Swarm, do it as quickly as you can things. We could do some cross-system racing. There's a lot of stuff. But shipboarding is probably the most interesting thing to me, even if we simulate it. Stay classy, Stanton. Yeah, I do like your content, Bob Mitch. Yours and there's another guy that started, I think it's Subliminal. Saw some of his content the other day and went, I actually quite like what he's doing. I'm quite rough when it comes to style stuff, but people seem to like to watch my stuff, even if it's just roughly edited and just me chatty. Hey, I watch your videos and they're really good. I came to the stream and I want to know if you played the old Area 18. Yes, I do. And see the differences, improvements in the current version compared to the old one. Well, there's a lot of the assets are reused. Obviously, so let me get out of this hab. We can talk about that very briefly. Look at this motherfucker with his teacup. Her teacup. I'll press the button. Just a couple of chicks chilling out in the elevator. Oh god. Oh god. You right? Where are you going? Yeah. He's okay. He's okay. So the Kasaba outlet is just taken straight from the old Area 18. Those the Cubby Blast. Got the same interiors even. Boom. Might see some different set dressing props and edits in the near future, and they'll actually get full inventories as well. But those are just the original assets there. A load of the assets have been reused in railings and stuff like that, and grates, events, which is actually pretty good. A load of extra stuff has been added. The lighting, the adverts, the holograms and stuff, that's what makes this place alive. That's the original monument from the original Area 18. ArcCorp Tower's new. It looks like a huge building, but there's only the ground floor and the centre mass floor at the moment. This is the asset from the medical hospital there, but we can't go in yet. Got the job well as well, again from the original. But yeah, they've added a load of assets and expanded it out. I'm quite impressed, and this sort of stuff I'm expecting to get a bit more refined, a bit more polished, and add some new assets to set dressing, polish it a bit. This is where we will be doing trading and finding jobs and stuff. Eventually we'll be able to do a load of buying, trading, and get jobs from here. That is the idea. I believe that is still the idea. Yeah, there's the trading consoles and some of the shops inventories and consoles there and things like that. It's the PTU. That some of them just aren't working yet. Some of them haven't got inventory set up. Some of them are server based and they break. Fucking great this is at the moment. Looking. Oh. Set some of this up as a screensaver. Questions? Hit it with a hammer, what? The FPS is pretty low. It's like, sort of like 18 to 20 at the moment. But it's because I'm streaming, but typically it's, I'm not, it's 20 to 25 to 30, more around 25 when I'm recording. Thank you very much for all the birthday love. Very much appreciated. Yeah, so what we'll do then is I think I'll do some later night streams. What I'll do is when I'm going to stream in a day, occasionally at least, or every other time at least, maybe I'll just do it once a week. I'll nap at 5 to 7 my time instead of streaming, and then just stream in the evening at later this sort of time for a bit longer as well, and we can start to do more gameplay and stuff like that as well. Because 3.5 is going to be probably reasonably gameplay rich, not as rich as 3.6 and 3.7 admittedly, but I want to start getting more gameplay and more streaming gameplay as well, rather than just chatting. How often do you upload the audio to your to SoundCloud? For podcasts. Anytime there's an appropriate video, typically within about 36 hours. Sometimes it's almost immediately. Sometimes it's the day later. .5 still have a problem with selling too much at a single console. Oh, I'm not sure if they have fixed the issues with purchasing and or tweaked the time it takes for commodities to refresh before you can purchase them again, and the same for selling. Hopefully they fixed it for selling. Sell stuff. They need to sort out a dynamic economy so it works better anyway. I'm not sure what we're going to see from the live build for that. Hopefully it will be a lot better than it was, and might not change at all. Sorry, I literally just don't know for that. What are the remaining core techie bits needed to finish? I know the other side of object container streaming is one of them. So yeah, we need server-side object container streaming. We need full persistence, server meshing, and once that's done, there's a lot of other core systems that will be built up with that at the same time. Gameplay loops, gameplay area, and really we need jump points, and then another system, and then that is sort of like a very basic core of the game that will allow them to also have persistent habs and no more resets. And once we're at that stage, which isn't too far out, then sort of like the game will be a lot more mainstream playable, reasons to play, and no more resets is exactly what it sounds like. It's once we have server meshing and full persistence, they can potentially have the game go into no more resets so that there's meaningful progression. I do appreciate all the love. Thank you very much. Late nights are fun indeed. I am going to go. I am tired. I'm exhausted. But we'll set this up for... I don't know what day we should do these. Maybe 2 days a week? The weekend? Weekdays were... 1 weekday would be easier. Maybe 2 weeks. Oh, I don't know. We'll see what people want. I'll maybe do a vote or something. Maybe they'll just be random, but I'll be more awake and want to do them for a bit longer. If we do have a delay on the live patch, I think we'd see it between the end of this week and the end of next week. So by the latest, April 5th would be my expectation. And they might try and just cram it in for the end of March. But there's a few things that I think they should try and do. I think it's more responsible just to delay it by, a couple of days before that live patch. But the PTU to everyone. Oh yeah, okay. And we'll do gameplay and stuff, especially when we can leave ArcCorp. That'll be a lot better, won't it? Yeah, I am planning to stream properly rather than just chat. I've just been waiting for playable content and stuff. The 3.5 does promise to make that happen a bit more. We can do semi-minor stuff. We can just look at the proneness of stuff. We can do mining. We can do missions running and stuff like that and just chat while we're doing it. I mean, the core of a lot of the stuff that I will do will be to answer questions and to chat about Star Citizen more than just playing it. However, there will be times, especially when we have no more resets, that I will be grinding. I will be doing stuff like that, and I'm happy to do streams of that, do videos of that, but the core of that will be, there will be goals, and I will be focused on that. But yes, hope people are enjoying 3.5 PTU WAVE 1. Hope it goes to wider PTU within the next 12 hours, like I think it will, to at least the next wave. And I hope we get it before the end of March, but I think it's much more likely by April 5th. That would be my expectation. Love you guys. Tomorrow we will look at the flight model. I'll talk about what it is, talk about what it isn't, talk about the keys changes, talk about how to use it, and talk about my opinions on it, because it's still not done yet. So there's refinements need to be made through the PTU. There will be a good few changes. What's he doing? A good few changes before it goes live, I suspect, and then 3.6 will see a lot of iterative improvements between now and 3.6. Anyway, especially when it comes to combat and balancing and AI and stuff. Yeah. I've rambled enough. Thanks so much for all the support, all the love, all the money, and the kind words for my birthday and for my father. Do appreciate it. You guys take care. If you want to get in contact with me, you can contact me on discord.gg/BoredGamer and richard@boredgamer.co.uk. Also get straight through to me. Yeah, love you guys. Take care. Peace. I say peace. What I'm going to do is I am going to link Verpal. I was supposed to earlier, and see if anyone's streaming on the Twitch. On the Twitch. Bam. Want to go watch Rexilla do some PvP battles, or do you want to watch Red Lear, Captain Flint? What would you like? What would you prefer? I love the use of some of those emotes. Some of them are so fucking silly. PvP, no worries. Let's go to Rexilla. Love you guys. Give him some love as well. He doesn't fucking need love. He's got fucking millions of viewers. Look at this. So that was the face of jealousy. You guys take care. Love you guys. Fucking peace out. Boom.